Welcome to the Level Up Sports Talk Show. I'm your host, John. I have my analyst for this evening, Mr. James, and I also got Wes, and we're going to get into some NBA Finals talk. We are talking Game 7 today, all things Thunder slash Pacers. So it's been a great series up until now. We'll give you some things to look forward to, who we have as our MVP, who wins Game 7, and we'll get a little bit of the talk before we end the show about Kevin Durant going to the Rockets. But first things first. So we had Game 1. It was a very close game. Most of you guys remember that game. It was 111 to 110. Halliburton coming down, making that last shot. Game 2, the Thunders did roll 123 to 107 against the Pacers. Game 3, it swung back the Pacers' way. When they went back home, it was 116 to the Thunder having 107. Game 4 was Thunder with 111 score to the Pacers 104. And the Thunder win Game 5 as well, 120 to Pacers 109. And Game 6, we had Halliburton coming out, giving his all with the gimpy calf, and the Pacers won and with a blowout win. Actually, it was 108 to Thunder one to 91. So now that sets us all up to the Game 7 for today. So the question number one for this evening is, what are the keys for the Pacers to win Game 7 of the finals? Wes, I go to you, and then I go to James.
Yeah, I think appreciate it. I think the main thing is just keep on keeping on, right? Like if it's not broke, don't fix it. I mean, just the bench has to be continue to be involved. That's been huge for them, and really the reason they've had such great success against OKC. So I wouldn't change the formula up at all. I'll just let it ride. They're playing with house money, it feels like, and just let that bench just keep rolling.
All right. James, what do you say about the Game 7?
Yeah, I agree for the Pacers. I wouldn't even change nothing up at all. There's no need to change nothing up. They've been playing well. Their bench been playing well. These guys, they hustle, they play hard. You know, um, McConnell doing what he's, trying to do what he's been doing, coming off the bench, and playing hard and giving them great minutes. I think if they just keep doing what they've been doing, Obi Toppin, everybody just been pitching in like it's like a complete team.
Yep.
All your superstars don't have to play great because these other guys they come off the bench and they play solid ball and they keep doing that and stay on the offensive glass, and rebound the ball, and do the little nitty gritty stuff that kind of helps you in championships. I think they'll be fine.
I totally agree. I think that everything that they did to get them to this point now, man, yeah, just keep it simple. Don't think more than what it is. It is Game 7, yeah, all the marbles for it this time, but just continue to do what you did that you did successfully to get there. And what I would say, focus on more so. Don't focus on what you didn't do more so, but focus on the good things you did do. Like for example, one of my main things, I'm pretty sure Carla have made mention. In the games they won, they did this. In the games they lost, they did that. One of those things that sticks out in my mind was that game in particular. It may have been like game. I want to say it was game 3, or it was yeah, I think it was game 3, where the Pacers actually they took Shea Gilgeous-Alexander out of his element, where they had him turning the ball over a lot. He was spinning around, and they called travel. If they can kind of focus on him, make sure that the head of the snake is make sure he's uncomfortable in the game. I think if they start out with that frame of mind, going defensive first, and then letting that set them up for offense, I think they'll be well in hand to continue to doing what they're doing. I think the bench, yeah, McConnell, Toppin, those guys, like you guys said already, the bench, yeah, just continue to do that. Have the same effort coming off the bench, scoring, be in attack mode, that kind of thing. I think their pace will be fine. All right, so we'll go ahead to question number 2 for the night, and that revolves around the OKC. And that question is, what are the keys for OKC to win the finals? James, I go to you, and then I go to West. All right, you muted, James.
Yeah, I think first thing foremost, Jalen Williams, he needs to, have a great game. He needs to play hard, continue playing hard. They need a big game from him. I say they probably definitely need 20 plus from him to win this game. Of course, they need Holgram to step up. Those are some of the key guys. I think when those guys play hard and they score a lot of points, I would say a lot of points, meaning, if Holmgren could put in 15 plus, Jalen put in 20 plus, Shea be Shea and do his 25 plus points a game. And everybody else play great defense and step up. And Dort, he can't be non-existent. He got to show up, make some big buckets for them, and I think that's what they need to do. Those guys definitely need to play hard. I think Hartenstein, he always plays hard. He doesn't have to score a lot of points. Of course, we know that, but as long as these key guys step up and score, I think they'll be on the right path.
What do you think the keys for the Thunder tonight?
Yeah, I agree with James on the chat there. But in order to win Game 7, OKC is going to have to leverage their home court advantage. They have to reclaim their defensive identity
Mhm.
and let Caruso just be a pest out there. They're going to improve their offensive execution, particularly in the half court and from 3-point range. Got to limit the turnovers and get key players, such as he just mentioned, Holmgren. Holmgren's going to have to step up. He's going to have at least, like he said, dropping 15. If he can get 15 and 10, it's going to be tough.
I say exactly almost similar to what we said about the first game one for the game seven for the Pacers earlier. Okay, see, man, the one thing I knew about them in the playoffs coming in defensively. I mean, they were a defensive team. I expect to see in the game seven for them to win. Loose balls, I see people running on the ground, going out of bounds, whatever you got to do. No easy points at the basket. No just giving up dunks and just layups. It's time out for that. Even
Mm-hmm.
if it comes for somebody off the bench, hey, if that person around the basket, hey, don't do a flagrant, but at least foul them. Make them work for every bit that they get tonight. Like if they're gonna win, let them
Absolutely.
earn it, like truly earn it. But at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, they should go at attack mode. You've been this style. Never change your identity. I mean, you are who you are. That's what got you to this point. So the leaders continue to be leaders. Jalen, I would expect to see Jalen in that attack mode.
Mm-hmm.
What he was when he had the 40-point game. I don't
Mm-hmm.
expect that. I see him attacking the basket. Regardless if you have to swing the ball around. Get yourself set. If you have to run to the other side of the
Mm-hmm.
court, set up again, and continue doing the same thing. But those are the things I'm looking for. As you guys already said, Caruso, I expect to see him scrappy. He's been a champion, so I'm pretty sure he's probably already saying some things like Siakam. Siakam on the other end, they're probably saying things that, hey, in order for us to get this win, in order to do it, we got to do this, and this is it. There is no more
Mm-hmm.
going back to the drawing board after the night. So whatever you have, leave it out there on the floor is what I say. And I think that's if they continue to have that in
Yeah.
the set mind frame, I think they'll be fine as they close
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. And Chet's going to have to be also. He's going to have to match up better against Miles Turner. They're going to get it done.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's definitely got to hold his ground, yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And he's done it key times. I just want to say he's done it consistently enough. But
Mm-hmm.
they did get 3 wins, both of them apiece. So it's anybody's game with that. But let's see who goes after it. That's a good
Right.
matchup to watch. Yeah, Chet and against Miles Turner, as well as uh, Hardenstein. They're going back and forth with it. All right. So question number three, and I'll start this one off. Who wins Game 7 and who is MVP? So I started. I think we did our picks. All of us had OKC. Um, I'm gonna stick with my pick. I do got OKC winning it. They're at home. You got the crowd behind you. Even that's one thing about it. When you get down, you can have them pump you back up. You start getting on some runs, you're right back into it. I do say that the MVP is the person who's been taking the lead the whole playoffs for them, and that's SGA. Say Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. I think he's MVP. Just because in his games, he's that one factor for OKC the whole time. Uh, he's going to do it on both ends of the floor. He's going to get people involved. He touches the ball probably more than anybody on that team. And so I think he is going to be the MVP. What say you, Wes? And then I go to James.
You know what? I'm going to flip. It's going to be a complete 180. I went
Uh,
with the sweep. You know what? I'm feeling it. I got the fever, and the only prescription is more Pacers. So I'm going with Indiana Pacers. Close
okay,
out
you're gonna
Game
flip it.
Seven
Okay, you're gonna
on the
flip it.
road. I'm flipping it, and I'm saying when they win, the Finals MVP is going to have to be shared by T.J. McConnell and Obi Toppin
Over top,
because
over top. Okay,
without
okay,
those two, hey, without those two, they would not be in their position right now and winning this final.
okay. So we didn't have somebody flip. All right, we got a Pacers. So James, what do you say about his rebuttal? First off, and then what do you have?
Well, look, I can't say nothing about his rebuttal because calling a sweep, that's four in a row, giving the other team no chance to flipping the switch now because
Right.
3-3 looks good. Yeah, it just shows that Indiana got a fight in them. And like I said, I knew it all along. Of course, but still, nonetheless, gave OKC the edge in Game 7. I will definitely say if the MVP should be SGA, like you said. I think SGA should get the MVP. He's been consistent. There's nobody really that really stood out so much more to say, hey, the MVP should go to them.
Right.
But on the other side, if Indiana does pull it off, which I won't be surprised if they did, because I think this was a really good matchup. Then I agree with Obi Toppin and what's his name, McConnell, TJ
McConnell, yeah.
McConnell sharing that MVP. But if anything, you kind of look at the stat, they both playing good. But I still would give the edge to Obi Toppin. If it don't need to be shared, I think Obi Toppin definitely shot. I was thinking about that, Wes, and I thought I was the only one out there. I'm not. They probably gonna say, Halliburton should get it, but no. Toppin been stepping up, man. He's been playing big, and without him, there was big shot, big moments. They don't have a chance. And TJ McConnell stepped up big, over 11 points in the series, shooting about over 50%. Of course, we know he's
Yep.
not a great three-point shooter. It's kind of deceiving when it says 60% shooting when he only took like 3 shots or something like that and just made a
Yeah,
couple of them. But yeah, definitely. I think Obi Toppin been playing well. His numbers been outstanding. 39% roughly from three, 48% from the field. And
yeah,
he's been about I think nearly 13 points, about 13 points a game for them during this series. So it's amazing. He deserves it.
yeah.
Definitely.
It's definitely amazing, and to think about how efficient they are, especially since they're averaging less than 20 minutes per game
Yeah.
out there,
Yeah.
and the Pacers bench as a whole is the first team in NBA history to have at least 8 players score 200 plus points in a single
Wow.
postseason run. So pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. One player I was thinking of, and maybe I'll say that. Let me say that for the next question. That may be going to the next question. So the question number 4 for tonight: what player's game have you been most impressed with? I'll go last on this one, but I'll bring my point up. James, I'll start with you on this one. What player's game, and that could be either team, what player's game have you been most impressed with throughout the finals?
You know what? This question is easy and it boils down right back to what we're talking about. Because OKC, I'm not impressed by none of their players. I thought a lot of them guys would play better and play more consistent. But with even Indiana, Halliburton ain't been awesome. Miles has not been what I expected him to be, but yet here they go because all them benches stepping up, all them other players, Nemhard and Nesmith, all of them guys are there in the starting lineup. Siakam had big games here and there, but he hasn't really been consistent. So I'm gonna go back to Obi Toppin and TJ McConnell. I'm gonna put both of them. I've been impressed with both of those guys. Without them, Indiana's not in this series, and I'm kind of really surprised actually that McConnell's played this well. Against this hard, really good defensive OKC team. And yeah, it's just amazing to see those two guys playing the way they are. So I would just say I'm more surprised with TJ McConnell's play. I'm more
Yeah.
impressed by him because I know what Toppin can do, and he's been doing that consistently throughout the season anyway with the big plays that he's been making. So we'll go TJ McConnell.
TJ McConnell. All right.
Yeah.
Who do you got, Wes?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I like how aggressive McConnell's been, and what he's doing attacking the basket. And I think that's really been the difference in Tobin as well. I mean, they've been fantastic, and I look for Siakam Pascal to really you know have a good game, just being a veteran player, being there before, and I think we're going to be in for a treat for sure. Or at least I hope so. But I'm gonna give the edge to McConnell and how. I mean, I'm just more surprised, I should say, as James is with the depth in which how he's playing.
Yeah, I want to say a name that doesn't score as many points, but I'm gonna stick with Pacers, one of the players from the Pacers team, and that's Nimhard. Nimhard, he may not have scored a whole lot, but what he's been doing, he's have to guard SGA, and I'm trying to like run around and then go back on the other side and then play defense and then try to score at the same time. Now, and
Hmm.
the thing is, it's those times when he scores that has made his impact to me, where the Thunder are trying to get a run going, and he'll come back with a shot that they desperately need to stop the run, or vice versa, where the Pacers are on the run and he actually starts that process for him, coming down, kicking up with a three, or driving in or kicking out. But playing defense, man, the way he's been playing, that's what to me stands out. Um, and
Yeah.
he's been doing that the whole playoff, so I give a lot of props to him. All right. And so that leads me into the last question for the night, and that is with regards to Kevin Durant being traded earlier today or this morning from Phoenix Suns to the Houston Rockets. And so Kevin Durant is being traded there, and the Rockets have lost Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks, as well as I think four first round picks. Um, and
Hmm.
so the question is for this topic right here: how far do the Rockets go with Kevin Durant, but losing Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks? So this is just as of right now. What are you guys thinking? How far do you think they can actually go? Do you think it helped them or hurt them, or what are your thoughts? Wes, I'll start with you and I go to James.
Well, I mean, I think it helped because I mean, it's Kevin Durant. I
Mhm.
mean, absolutely. Uh, and to me, I mean, I know it seems like it is a lot, and maybe it is at 37 years of age that you gave up, your number 10 pick and 5 second rounders, but those 5 second rounders are, like you're 26, 27, and all, up till 2032, I believe. So, I
Right.
mean, it seems like the Rockets got pretty much the best deal, honestly, out of it. Is the Suns? They're definitely, it wasn't working. You could tell body language wise and all. It's just not. Uh, KD just didn't seem to be thrilled playing out there in the desert. So,
Yeah.
he's back home, and I think that's going to drive him even further. And I think the Rockets have a really good chance, a better chance now, and I could see them making it to the Eastern Conference Finals for sure.
Or Western Conference Finals.
Western, sorry.
Yeah,
Yep,
said
the
West.
Western Conference Finals. Yep.
Okay, so Western Conference Finals. All right. James, what do you say about it, man?
Well, for me, I kind of look at it a little bit different. But like I think Wes said it right though. I think that Houston, well, Phoenix probably made out a little bit better in the deal because you get some key players. Jalen Green, we could see that he's a rising star. We could see that, his game is stepping up. He's,
Hmm.
playing the game well. It was kind of an impressive season that he's had. And then you throwing Dylan Brooks into the mix, who's great defensive player. He's one of those tough guys. He plays hard. He leaves it all out there. And then on top of that, he knows how to score the ball as well. So it's a big win, I think, for Phoenix because they wasn't going, nowhere. Now I think too, it makes them look better because it brings a little bit defensive toughness to Phoenix is what they were kind of needing. They still got, Devin Booker, who
Devin
knows
Booker.
a stud on the offensive end, and then you adding another player who can score, who's a good scorer, upcoming player, and then you Dylan Brooks, who can score and play great defense. I think Phoenix needs to be
Mhm.
defensive minded, and I think this trade helps them to do that. And they're not losing a whole lot in scoring neither, honestly.
Mhm.
So now you go to Houston. Well, what does Houston look like? Can they make it further? And the answer to that for me right now is I don't think so. I don't think they're going anywhere. At least definitely not this first year. I think it's gonna take some time for them to rebuild, to work and rebuild their identity into filling these two pieces that they let go. Now you could cancel out and say, okay, Jalen Green and Kevin Durant, that's a good swap because KD, we know he's an all-time
Or
scorer.
hmm
Okay, but then you still lose that Dylan Brooks, who played
yeah,
great defense, who
he,
played steady defense, and then you broke up that team chemistry also by letting two of those key players go in a run where you had defensive guys, and it wasn't about all stars. It wasn't about superstars or stars. It was about a team, passing the ball, moving the ball around, and sharing and making plays for one another. And that's what you lost.
Mhm.
So I think it's going to take some time for them to really build that back up. But I can see if they can add, another key piece or so next, the following season. Next year, I
Mhm.
definitely think they'll make the playoffs with what they got. But I think it'll take another year for them to add, some more pieces. Maybe they'll pick them up, someone up in the off season,
yeah.
who can fit in with the team, defensive minded, who's gonna, fill
Mhm.
in Dylan Brooks' spot and make those nasty plays, those hard plays.
Yeah.
And that's where I wanted to begin with, was what you said there, James. I think in the long run for this deal, I think it will benefit Rockets, and I'm coming from a perspective of
Mhm.
it'll benefit them from who their head coach is with Udoka. He's going to get the best out of his players. They have an identity.
Mhm.
We know they were young. They're going to run on you, but they pass the ball. They're tough. Sengun, I'm not sure if I'm saying his name,
Sengun, yeah, Sengun.
Sengun,
Yes,
but
and good. Yeah.
he's one of those guys, man. He can go out there and if you need to get 18, 20 rebounds, but he'll be that guy in the paint and he'll let his presence be known. So they still have that there. And I know they gave up Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks is one of those guys that's just like he's that guy you want to have with you when you have your entourage. Like you got to go
Exactly.
somewhere, you got to
Mhm.
go in a tough area, New York Knicks style
Mhm.
type of play. He's that guy like, hey, if I need to body somebody up, I'll do that for us so I
Mhm.
can kind of get somebody off your back. But you don't have that now. So I don't know who you go to for that. Maybe that is what we're saying. If they are that type where they're saying, okay, we got these guys now. We got Kevin Durant. So we know our scoring is going to go up. We still got
Right.
Fred Van Vliet. He can score when he needs. He'll
Mhm.
pass the ball. He's solid. He's a championship winner. He knows what it takes to do that. He won into Toronto
Yeah.
Raptors. They got Reed Shepard. Reed Shepard came from, I think, Kentucky a couple of years ago now.
Yep.
But it's going to be his second year. He's going to be one of the younger guys, but he can shoot very well.
Mhm.
Amen Thompson, he's one of the
David
guys that
Thompson.
does it all. He'll score,
Yeah.
he play defense.
Absolutely.
He and his brother both. They play with the Pistons. And you also have Jabari Smith that came out of Auburn a couple years back as well.
Mhm.
And we often forget Steven Adams. Steven Adams
Yeah.
is that guy, man. It doesn't matter, he's just like a guy that's just even though he's been playing in the league for some time, he played with OKC, them.
Mhm.
He's been around, but he's still consistent. He still do what he needs to do, going up
Mhm.
against some of the top centers and power forwards in the game, and he'll hold his own. He may not get a whole bunch of like maybe 20, 25 games, but he'll
Yeah.
get his double doubles if need be, in order to
I,
win. So I like
absolutely.
him, but I agree with what you guys are saying, especially what you're saying, James. I do think they need somebody else that's
Mhm.
going to help that wing defender that can kind of help. Kevin Durant can hold his own. A lot of people don't look at his
Mhm.
stats like that, but on ball, like when he's because he got those long arms, he know how
He's
to
got
defend.
long arms. Yeah.
He's been doing that for a long time now, and he can
Mhm.
also score on the other end. So, but I will say they're gonna need that. It's one piece that I think they're missing.
Yeah.
Maybe they get that in there. If they get that
Yeah.
in the offseason, we'll see. But for right now, I'm just gonna say, just based off of right now, I'm gonna say they'll be pretty much where they were this year. They'll get to the semifinals.
Yeah.
I don't see
Uh,
anything past that as of right now. Just because
yeah.
you gotta look at it. Who we're looking at in the right now. They still gonna have OKC. OKC's not losing much.
Mhm.
You still got players like Jokic coming out of Denver. You think Denver's they're
Mhm.
gonna make some change. We already know there's gonna be some adjustment with them. Westbrook is not. I don't think he's coming back.
Golden State.
So yeah. So
Yeah.
Golden State, they're gonna try to do their final run or whatever they're gonna do. You got the
Mhm.
Lakers are gonna probably. try to get some pieces out there as well in free agency. So
Oh yeah,
West is going to be one of those
Lakers.
type of teams
Yeah,
or conferences where you better be on your A game because everybody's gunning.
yeah,
it's not quite like the East. I think you got four teams maybe in the East that are championship type contenders, but other than that, no, the other ones are just kind of outside
right.
looking.
I like it though. I like it. You know, he goes back home. Like I said,
Yeah.
he's a pure scorer. He's averaged 25 points or better. You know, the whole time he's been in the league. So Rockets are getting a score, and he knows how to score. And I mean, he's pretty much automatic. I mean, I think
Mhm.
career wise, he's probably 50% shooter. I mean,
Yeah,
he's pretty
Kevin
much
Durant's one.
automatic.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
one of my
Mhm.
favorite players to watch, man.
Absolutely.
Oh
So
yeah.
seeing him with a good unit like the Rockets and a great coach,
Hmm.
and plus he this is not the first time he's been able to work under Ime Udoka. They kind of worked together with the Brooklyn Nets.
Right.
So
Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah, that's because we know that KD's one of my favorite players. You know,
Hmm.
honestly, I felt like he got shortened a lot. In the beginning of his career when he was actually the best player in the game, but they still was giving it to LeBron. I didn't think that was
mhm.
even fair or right. Because he had proven himself. But of course now his game is not the same. I think he's kind of lost in the shuffle, probably in the shuffle of not winning. You know.
Right.
I mean, I think even in Brooklyn, he did a great job trying to get them past, but Kyrie got hurt,
The
and
injuries,
he still almost carried them over past. But it's hard to do by yourself
it
when you
is.
got James Harden who doesn't perform in the playoffs, and then who was claimed to be injured supposedly, and then you got Kyrie who's always injured at the wrong time. That was at the wrong time, but he still almost took them to the finals. With that team. So we know he's a great player. And I think with having Houston with these guys, with this core group who could play defense, who's actually, focused, I think he could make a good run. And
Oh
I
yeah.
think if Houston's gonna win and they got that extra key piece and they stay like they are with that defensive mentality and they work hard on defensive end, and I would have scored like KD, you can
Oh
go
yeah.
far, you can actually make it to the final, so to the final game. But we'll just see if they get that piece, and we'll see how that continuity build up together too.
Oh yeah. I definitely we know one thing all too well that even if they were ranked offensively 27th in the league, they're not going to be offensively 27th anymore. They're
Hmm.
going to have KD can still go out there and get you 30 if need be.
Hmm.
And he's one of the best pure shooters I've seen coming in as he was. I mean, I first I'm gonna be honest. When he first came in the league, I was like, man, I don't know if this guy's gonna make his arms he's too small or something. Like I thought he was too skinny. Shh. He's still skinny and he's still giving you 35, 40 points, whatever you need. So
Hmm.
he's just that type of
And
guy.
and the league is changing too, man. Like
It
now,
is.
it's like 3-point shooting is a thing now. For the last three seasons, KD shot over 40% from threes.
It's crazy. And
So
that's
it just
after
shows.
Achilles injury. Yeah.
Yeah, man, exactly. After Achilles injury, it shows you, man, like just the league is going to, shooting a lot of threes. And, with a player who could shoot like that, he started focus more on his 3-point shooting game and it shows. It's actually been 50-40 for the last three seasons, and then he missed a 50, he was 50-40-90 in the 2023 total season when he first left Brooklyn to go to Phoenix. And the last two, he didn't shoot 90% from the free throw line, but he's very capable. But yeah.
Yeah, man. So look forward to that. We're looking forward to the finals tonight. We'll see what other pieces will come up about for the Houston Rockets. There's a lot of things going on in NBA. So after the finals this week, you also have the NBA draft coming up this week. That's the next thing after the finals is over with. Then you'll have the NBA free agency. So any top names, they're going to be dropping like hotcakes, I'm pretty sure. And he's just the first one to fall. We'll see what happens next. My Lakers fans, I know we those out there, we still gotta wait. I'm pretty sure LeBron's not gonna go anywhere, but you just always had that. How does he feel the Lakers are gonna do with what he has, and does he want to just end his career out because of family reasons? We'll see. But I still see him finishing out his career with the Lakers, but you still gotta wait because he does have that option. But there's a lot
Hey,
of things going on, so even after that, we roll right into NFL training camp. So it's
Hmm.
about to be a busy time for the summer. That'll do it for us for the show today. If you like us, please hit the like button on us for we are on YouTube as well as Facebook. Subscribe to us. Continue to send support. Let us know how we're doing. If you see us out and about or whatnot, uh, we're always appreciative of it. And as always, you guys have a blessed week and level up.
I
Hey,
say
hey,
live up.
hey, before y'all drop off, hey, fun fact, right? Y'all know KD only the first 5 seasons in his career. The first 5 seasons, he didn't shoot over 50%. Everything else, he shot over 50% from the field every
From
season.
after that fifth year.
After that fifth year.
Hmm.
After the
And the
fifth
funny
year.
thing is,
Okay.
the fourth year, that fifth year exactly, he shot 49.6%, which is, if you round up, it's technically 50. But
Get out of
fuck.
Hmm.
here. Okay.
All
That's a
right,
good
fellas.
chess. All right, fellas.
All
Level up.
right. Have a
You
good
have a
one.
blessed week.